you know what really pairs well with Chardonnay from Chablis is oysters. So
Ryan Sullivan is a man reinvented.
Let's go ahead and do our classic swirl.
Passionate about wine, now making his living as a sommelier and sharing tips with clients online. But a year ago, Ryan was an airline captain with Porter in Toronto until the pandemic grounded the entire fleet.
But when we shut down, confusion, concern, without a doubt, like we didn't know what was happening.
As the weeks passed, the bills piled up, savings whittled down.
This wine has a bit more of a gold color to it.
And Ryan wondered, could he turn a wine hobby into a full-time business?
It took a few months of soul searching, and I was asking a lot of my friends and my colleagues, what do you think of this? What do you think? I was asking a lot because I'm trying to learn as much myself on how to build up what was a side business to my primary source of income now into 2021.
Is it paying the bills?
It's paying the bills, food's on the table, mortgages being paid.
It's been a slog, though. Even for an enterprising entrepreneur, he may not be back to flying for a while. One of the few areas harder hit than aviation are restaurants.
We're going to be growing squash and cucumbers, kale.
This time last year, Liz Guerrier was in her 10th year running her own pub. The pandemic changed everything.
How hard was the decision to shut it down?
It was extremely difficult, possibly one of the hardest choices of my life. It meant saying goodbye to the business that I'd struggled and for many years worked so hard to build, and so very hard to leave that behind.
Leaving not just the pub, but the city.
So over here is where we planted the garlic.
Moving an hour away here to the wide open spaces of Erin, Ontario with her partner, with big plans to not serve food, but grow it.
We're going to be growing fresh vegetables and some fruit and cut flowers and herbs. And we hope to offer some farm stays as well. So people who sign up for shares, they purchase a share, and then they get a delivery of fresh vegetables throughout the season. There's going to be a high tunnel greenhouse down here.
Let's head off into it.
She's had farmers offer tips and taken courses online. The move may look bold to some, but Liz didn't see a lot of other options.
Honestly, not a lot of other choices. Sad fact is, 52 years old, not a lot of people going to hire me for much of anything, especially under these conditions where my industry, former industry, has just been decimated.
Megan Hain knows all about that. Her relative peace today replaces her near panic at the pandemic's start, when she was working as a server at 2 places in Toronto.
So obviously both of my restaurants shut. I was downtown Toronto, but luckily I have a really incredible partner who was like, oh, just come stay with me. So it was pretty stressful at the beginning.
Megan relied on CERB to get by, but also saw opportunity in the shutdown.
So, I was starting to just look into other options of like what I could actually do. My brother actually owns a software developing company, and he's in Toronto, and so when the pandemic hit, his work just went straight online and he just didn't miss a beat.
Megan didn't either, picking up a scholarship at Lighthouse Labs, a private rapid tech boot camp, now retraining hundreds.
What we're going to want you to do is figure out how to take some of that code.
Lighthouse Labs founder Jeremy Shackey has also moved the retraining completely online.
We've really seen that growth go quite tremendously. So we have about a little bit more than double the enrollments. If not, we're closing in on triple the size of what we're seeing. Take a look at looping techniques. I think there's just people coming from these industries that have kind of fallen apart. The service industry, huge amount of people coming who were working as waiters, waitresses, bartenders, whatever, all walking in and going, okay, I've been wanting to change careers. I'm ready. This is the time to do it. Programming tools.
Most don't have times for longer programs. They need a salary and quick.
Nobody wants to take a huge amount of time. When you're 25, 30, 35, 40, there's too much life going on for you to take 4 years or 2 years to change.
For Megan, that was definitely the case.
I probably wouldn't have been able to do a longer program at the time. I obviously didn't have any financial support at the time, and taking out a big loan, it didn't interest me in any way.
Reinventing yourself is a big task, but all three consider themselves lucky. They've been able to do it, and recognize many have not. Everyone now hoping for a return to some greater certainty. David Common, CBC News, Erin, Ontario.